Siege X is just around the corner, so in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the top 12 attackers you need for Year 10 Season 2. The first attacker on my list is going to be Striker. First of all, going over Striker's loadout, you have the M4 assault rifle, which is the second best assault rifle in the entire game. You also have a secondary shotgun if you want to be able to make yourself rotate or make vert. And then obviously the whole reason I put this operator on this list is you have the ability to bring two different secondary gadgets in the same operator. So if you want to get a wall open, you can bring hard breaches and EMPs on the same operator. If you want to clear a shield, you can bring flashes for burn and then grenades to kill the shield. If you want to clear the new operator Clash, you can do the same thing, flashes and shield, or flashes and nades, or EMPs and nades, right? If you want to go for a plant, you can bring flashes and then also bring smoke. So just a lot that you can do by yourself in one single operator, as well as having, again, a shotgun for soft destruction and an M4. Absolutely insane attacker and one of the best, especially for SoloQ. Now that was just one out of 12 different attackers that I'll be going over in today's video. But before I continue, I want to go over two honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list. The first of which being Brava. Do not get me wrong, I think Brava is an amazing attacker. However, I think she's very situational. Her clutch drone is great, but if there's no utility for it to hack, it's pretty much useless. If they're not bringing a Rooney, if they're not bringing Capcan, there is no reason to play this operator. However, most of the time, those operators are being brought, so if you want to play Brava and count her in my top 12, I completely understand. My second honorable mention is going to be Grim. I think Grim is a great attacker, arguably one of the best if you have a coordinated team and you're in champion elo, but if both of those things are not true at the exact same time, Grim is not going to get as much value as somebody as simple like Ashe, Ace, or anybody else that is going to be on this list. So Grim, great attacker. The stars just need to align for you to get any sort of value, in my opinion. Now that we've gone over the two honorable mentions, let's continue on with the top 12, the second of which is going to be Ashe. Ashe is great. The R4C is a great gun. You are also a 3-speed with the R4C, which makes it very easy for you to take any gunfight at all. The M45 is also one of the best pistols in the entire game. Plus, you have the ability to open up 5 big breaches, 2 of which with your ranged breaching round, and then 3 of which with a breaching charge. You can bring claymores for flank watch as well, but mainly the reason that Ashe is so good is because you are a 3-speed with the R4C, which is a great assault rifle. Plus you can bring the ranged breaching round, which makes it a lot easier for you to rush if that is your playstyle. Now, if you've been playing the game for a long time, you know that shields are probably meta. And that is why the third attacker on this list is going to be Monty. Now, Monty is great if you're a shield player that doesn't really like to take gunfights. You're more of a passive player that likes to just support your team with a shield, then run in with a shield. Monty's shield is great for that because you can extend it, meaning that nobody can shoot you in the feet or the shoulders, but you can still take space as a shield if you need to. You're really meant to be more of an annoyance and just get in people's faces than you are to really get kills. And it's a lot easier in SoloQ because you can use EMPs to get walls open, hard breaches to get walls open, smokes for a plant, and an easy to use shield that gives you a bunch of cop-outs if you just extend when you're in a bad situation. Arguably the best to play if you're new to shields because the extension allows you to not really have to worry about getting shot that much. So I definitely recommend playing Monty if you haven't already. Speaking of shields though, obviously the next attacker on my list is going to be Blitz. If you like to play the fast-paced shield, Blitz is going to be the easiest and most effective shield for you. Blitz specializes in taking one-on-one gunfights. If you are in a 1v1 against a Blitz, unless you're Warden, there's not much that you can do. Blitz can flash you, which means you can't shoot back or melee him, and then he can just melee you and shoot you in the head, or ADS you and shoot you in the head too. The only way you can really kill a Blitz is if you are Warden, or if you end up catching him by surprise. But against a good Blitz player, that's not going to happen, because if you're Warden, he'll avoid you, and if you're trying to catch him by surprise, he'll drone you or just kill you instead. Good Blitz players, especially in SoloQ rank, are the scariest thing to deal with. Plus, you can use breach charges to rush into walls or smokes to go for a plant and cover yourself if you want to flash an enemy. Great for SoloQ, and one of the best operators in the game because of how meta shields are even after the nerf. And for the final shield on this list, obviously I have to talk about Blackbeard being in the top 12. Like I said, shields are meta. I'm gonna put shields in the video. If I didn't, I would be lying to myself. Every time I play a shield, we usually end up winning the round. I am a pretty good shield player, but honestly, I think anybody could pick up a shield and make value just by playing the shield, and Blackbeard's a great example of that. People are really afraid of a Blackbeard ADSing, so either they have to stay ADS'd at you the entire time to make sure you don't kill them, and then your teammate just fries them, or the second they run away from your grenades, you just shoot them in the back of the head. I think the ability to throw grenades, frag grenades behind your shield and force somebody out of a corner to then shoot them is the craziest thing you can do as Blackbeard, and that's why he's so overpowered. Having a shield in front of your face while shooting them with an AR, absolutely insane. If you thought the other two shields were crazy, Blackbeard is the most banned shield in the game right now for a reason. He's the best shield operator in the game and arguably top 3 solo queue attackers in the game right now, if not the best one. Now, I do want to preface that before I get into the next attackers, none of these attackers are in order from worst to best. I just kind of threw them in the video. But if you want to know my order, let me know down in the comments. For now, though, let's go over Buck. I think Buck is an amazing attacker. First of all, any attacker that brings in assault rifle and flash grenades is naturally going to be good. That's why later down the line, you'll see me talking about Ram. But for now, let's talk about Buck. Buck, you have flash grenades and an assault rifle on one operator, which means you can take gunfights very, very easily. You also have the skeleton key, which means you can make yourself rotates, you can make holes that you can peek through, you can make vert below, vert above, or you have a shotgun that you can kill people with. One of the most simple and easy operators to get into, but something that's still valuable even the higher of the elo that you rise. A great attacker in my opinion, and when it comes to Siege X, that's not going to change. Somebody else that has been a great attacker for the longest time is the next operator, which is Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi really shines in her versatility. First of all, with secondary gadgets, you have the options of smoke grenades for a plant, EMP grenades for a wall or utility, and flash grenades for kills or burn. Very versatile. Plus, you can bring a Gon 6 or an SMG-12 for kills, which makes her even more versatile. Or you could bring a DMR for destruction and kills, or a Boss G for one-shots, plus the SMG-12. If all of that wasn't versatile enough to put her on a list, we haven't even gone over her main ability yet. The ability to call and roam clear very easily, to hack cameras, and to use cameras, and to kick defenders even that are dead off of cameras. Crazy versatile and powerful operator that I think still needs a nerf. I don't know why they haven't nerfed her again. Next up is Nomad. Now, Nomad is somebody that I've hated on in the past, but that I've grown to love over the past few seasons, especially in Siege X. So let's go over why. First of all, you have two great primary options, the AK-74M, which we talked about on Bamos being already good, or the ARX, which is an amazing assault rifle if you can manage the low ammo count. She does have two of the worst pistols in the game, but that doesn't really matter. She does have flashes and an assault rifle though, which like I talked about with Buck is really nice to have, especially when you're solo queuing. But mainly, I want to talk about her ability, which is the air jab. Now, you have the ability to cover any runouts that you do, which on maps like Cafe or even maps like Chalet can be pretty useful to have. You can also put these in sight to make it to where people can't defuse the bomb. You can shoot them at the new reworked Clash, which is one of the best defenders in the entire game right now. You can use her flashes for burn and then air jab people out of power positions. You can use it for some flanks in the game. Overall, just a great attacker if you have a specific strategy in mind that you're going to use these air jabs for. Now, this would not be a top 12 attackers video if I didn't obviously put Ace in the video. Ace is a great hard breacher. You have the third best assault rifle in the game, which is the AK-12. You have claymores so that you don't get ran out on when you're playing outside your breach. But really, it's just about having the Selma charge. You have a ranged hard breach, which makes it really safe for you to open walls. This breach also does open up pretty big, and if you throw it low enough, makes it to where you can crouch through the breach instead of having to vault through the breach. If you stack two of these, you can get a hatch open, or you can make a fully sized breach on a regular wall. You're able to shoot segments out of it to only make head holes or feet holes. You're able to put these on the floor to get bandits on the other side of a reinforcement, or on an OSA shield, same thing. And his gadget is just so easy to use. The explosive time on the gadget is the fastest out of any hard breacher in the game, which makes him very easy for solo queue players to get value out of. He is the best solo queue breacher in the entire game, so I had to put him on this list. Now, the next operator on this list is actually going to be Twitch, and I have a few reasons for this. Obviously, you have the F2, which is great if you can control it, or the 417 DMR, which is great in general. You can destroy zombies with this. It's a DMR, so you have destruction, and it's a good gun with low recoil. You also have smokes and claymores on this operator, which both make sense when you talk about how the operator is meant to be played, which obviously is with her shock drone. You can use her shock drone to get a lot of utility, like Goyos, default cameras, legions, ADSs, bandits, Ks, whatever it may be, but also the new environmental features. You can pop those gas canisters that waste a lot of time that are all over maps. Now you can pop fire extinguishers too. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the Twitch drone and with her loadout that makes her a really good solo queue operator. This might seem like a weird placement to you, especially after watching my tier list that I just dropped the other day, but let me explain why she's good for solo queue specifically and why she's a top attacker right now. So first of all, she has the M762 assault rifle, which is a pretty good assault rifle, and a scoped pistol, which is always going to be nice. But mainly, she's just really good in solo Q. If you want to get a hatch that has a Cade on it, that is surrounded by a soft floor, you can do that by yourself, kind of like Striker can, but with Sophia. You have can openers to get the actual hard breach off, and then you can use your impacts on the side of the hatch to destroy the Cade Claw. You also can use your impacts / stuns to completely counter a clash. And like I said, she's one of the best defenders and most played defenders that's going to come out with Siege X. I've been playing the test server. Trust me, I know she's overpowered. And Sophia is a perfect counter to her. Also, the meta is starting to slow down a little bit, even though shields are still pretty prominent, which means having a 3 armor isn't going to hurt you as much as it would, like, let's say, in the 1.5 times scope meta. I just think she's very versatile to destroy a lot of utility, kind of like operators like Hibana or Zero, but I think Sophia just has a little bit more versatility than those operators, especially in a solo queue environment when getting a wall open isn't as important as having a versatile loadout. And then for the final attacker in today's video, next we're going to go over Ram. Now again, Ram has the R4C just like Ashe does, which we talked about is a very good weapon to have if you're trying to go for kills, and so is flash grenades. Flash grenades and an R4C in the same loadout. If you played Ashe 6 years ago, you know how good that is. Not only that, but you have a 3 armor operator, which means you can just eat up bullets. You could have smoke grenades for the plant as well. And the actual gadget makes it to where you can get vert on any downstairs site the easiest and the most efficiently, and have the most amount of vert in one operator. Absolutely insane operator to have, especially for those bomb sites that you can get above vertical on. But with that out of the way, that is it for today's video. My name's Alka. Check out this next video, and I'll see you there.